Hello everyone, welcome back to Halloween Lane. As always, I'm Rome Latorius. Joining me once again today is Sean,
Hi.
Melina, and Manuel. Who wants to explain what we're doing today?
Well, someone brought it up.
I brought it up. I think we've talked about it before. Me and Sean are little bitches when it comes to scary stuff.
Me too.
What? Yeah.
Now imagine how bad.
You're not here regularly.
Shut up. Now, we were talking about weird stuff that also just scared us as kids. That we now look back and are like, what the actual fuck was going on? Because if we get scared nowadays, imagine little us.
We're tiny little us who's not seen enough.
Yeah,
who's too scared of everything.
Who's innocent of this world.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought just bringing weird, specific things that we just remember being scared of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we have...
So many.
I have a number.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a whole ass number.
Tried. It wasn't for lack of trying. I couldn't think of anything.
You're gonna come on here and tell us that you were super brave all
No,
throughout your life and you were never scared of anything.
I mean, I didn't like the ghost train growing up, but I feel like all the things that I was scared of as a kid, like
the ghost train is like a concept?
like actual ghost trains. Didn't like them.
Okay.
It's like, I feel like all the things that I didn't like growing up, like when I was younger, you can rationalize for a kid why you would be scared of that. So it's not that interesting to talk about. There's nothing like
that onset something.
Yeah. Like, I don't like the paranormal. Still to this day, that's a normal thing. Like, that still freaks me out and creeps me out, and it's like understandable. So like, I don't have anything that's like funny to talk about because it's just like a genuine like, oh, that makes sense.
You guys ever scared of death?
You ever been scared of the concept of mortality?
I mean, I genuinely
age?
at 5-year-old I'd have a mental breakdown about it.
I feel like everyone has that moment where they suddenly realize like, oh my god.
Yeah, that I'm alive and I'm gonna die one day.
Yeah.
Like, I had it twofold actually, just to sort of go into that discussion. I mean, obviously you realize you're alive when you're when you grow sentient, but I didn't realize when you go from the little baby toddler mode to I can actually impact the world.
I suddenly have memories.
Yeah.
My first word was, I'm alive!
I want to live! Yeah, but I didn't realize what aging actually meant and that you would die at the end of it until I was 6 or 7, and then my sister just told me.
What?
We don't get to do this forever?
No.
Someone's like, this person died. They what? They what?
They what?
It's funny. I had a grandparent die when I was very young, and no one told me what was actually happening from what I remember.
Oh.
As far as I knew, my granddad passed when I was 3, and he just stopped appearing one day.
I mean,
I knew he wouldn't come back. But
he got written out.
Yeah, he got retconned.
He despawned.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what back end called.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, okay, your story's done.
You're no longer showing up to my birthday.
Yeah. You can't go on his computer anymore. Oh.
I mean, so all the stuff for me is you can rationalize it to being a kid.
Yeah.
So there's nothing in my memory, but I think I've explained this for younger memories I have a hard time just recalling it. I need something sort of stimulus to. So maybe during conversation something will come up, but trying to cast back into the net.
It's just an abyss.
Yeah, nothing stands out as that's funny now or it's something that I can look back on and go, that was dumb to be scared of. Or it's the ghost train was a genuine thing where I was taken on it at 4 and someone jumped out, and of course as a 4-year-old.
Please explain what's happening here.
It's like a ride at an amusement thing, and it's it goes into the thing, and there's scare actors that jump out and stuff.
Dude,
so I got taken on that at 4.
I genuinely thought you were just terrified of ghost trains.
No.
Yeah.
So I got taken on it at 4. A scare actor jumped out like they're supposed to do, and obviously I'm 4 and I fucking freaked out, and so
I thought you were genuinely talking about trains that showed up that weren't timed.
No.
I was oh my god. It is an unforetold
I thought it was
train.
a film. I was like, maybe it's a film.
No. Films don't tend to bother me that much. So, but
we just call them spooky houses.
No,
Like,
because
when
the
you go on
Ghost
a
Train is
cart.
different
Oh, it's a
to
different-
yeah. Because
And-
we would have horror or like scary houses out
Yeah.
alongside them.
I thought you were just genuinely like scared of going by train tracks in case a ghost train would just appear and it was
No,
like,
One of
no.
those ghost
I mean,
pirate ships.
like
it's a
the-
train.
yeah, like a ghost
just-
ship. Like,
Just the amusement ride.
I understood that as like a kid thing.
Yeah.
Like you think that's real,
Yeah.
but when I asked and you just went the ghost train, I was like,
Clearly,
oh, okay.
this is a thing.
Sorry, I should have known.
Yeah, I guess if you've not had like local fairs that bring amusement rides,
No,
then-
the thing is, I did. It's just hearing the ghost train didn't spark that
Ah,
in me.
yes, the ghost train.
Yeah. Very specific.
yeah. I mean, that's all. It has some name, but it's not like a
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
common name other
Exactly.
than the Ghost
Ghost
Train.
Train.
So-
Trains
yeah,
or
that
like-
makes sense.
In my case, what I'm sharing today.
This-
I'm sharing with
Manuel,
you.
this is a
today.
safe space.
Making it
You're
sound like
allowed to share.
Alcoholics Anonymous.
It's
Hi,
all stuff.
Manuel.
Well,
Go.
sorry, we're mocking you immediately.
I'm blanking. Oh, what I wanna talk about today. It's like I'm giving a presentation.
Yeah.
It's so
I
formal.
feel like you're gonna bring out a whiteboard.
But
or
yeah, yeah,
something.
no,
It
it's
really
so-
has been a year for you, hasn't
it's,
it?
Yeah, it's all stuff that like I think it's supposed to scare you as a child, but it's almost like a funny kind of
Yeah.
scare. It's like spoofs. I showed you a couple of clips, and but when I was a child, I was really like easily scared.
Mhm.
Like I could not watch anything that's like horror related in any way, and this is stuff like I thought I had nightmares about this stuff, and now looking back, I was like, this is clearly made like it's a funny thing. It's not a
Yeah.
scary film. You know what I mean? Like there are some things like I talk about it, like The Ring. You know, when you see the trailer for The Ring, I was like 12. I don't remember when it came
Yeah.
out. I was horrified, like terrified. But mostly just stuff that's not supposed to scare you. Like just stuff that, like, for some reason or another, it's just like traumatic. I
Your
want to say, like
brain
in a
just
way,
saw it as a
Yeah.
it was a
threat.
bit like
Yeah.
I used to buy the PlayStation magazines,
Mhm.
and I remember when they were like, I would just like scroll through like
Scroll through.
Scroll through.
I'm a son of the millennium. What do you call it? What's it called?
Not
Flip
a phone,
through?
not a phone in sight.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Flip through, and when I could see like they were talking about like Silent Hill or the latest horror game, I would just like
No.
I cannot even see it. I
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
even.
Yeah.
Some of
was-
those ads are freaky though, and like
But
old
Not even like
magazines.
like reviews. Like I remember Silent Hill 4, the two Gemini, the two children, the
Oh,
big
yeah.
ghost. I was like, I remember ripping it off of a PlayStation magazine. I cannot look at it.
That's pretty fair for twin heads.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, twin heads. That's what it's called. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of the kind of stuff. I don't know about you.
Are the monsters in Silent Hill 4 meant to represent the zodiac signs? Is that what they're meant
No,
to be?
no, no.
No,
I
no.
meant, Gemini is like twins.
Oh,
Gemini
okay.
is
Yeah, you just going
Sorry,
off
I was
twins.
just thinking of the monkey, and I was like, wait.
The monkey
that- wait.
sign.
You're cooking.
It's like, wait, because we had a whole list where we tried to figure out what the fuck they represented, because obviously everything in Silent
Yeah.
Hill represents something, and
Yeah,
Silent
yeah.
Hill 4,
It's-
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. Twin heads. It feels like it's the most obvious thing they represent. The twin victims that are
Yeah.
described in 2.
Yeah.
But even then, like,
Yeah, they're kind of abstract.
yeah, as a representation of something. Anyway, sorry.
Those kids were annoying.
Too much Silent Hill talk already.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I guess I will start with one that has just haunted me. That if someone ever asked me this question, I'm gonna say this fucking movie, Nanny McPhee.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I kind of get it.
There's
What's
a
that?
villain, Nanny McPhee. It's
Oh, the one you.
Yeah.
you
the villain wants to taxidermy people.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
wait, is this a series?
No, it's a film.
It's a film. It's a film.
It's a kid's film.
Yeah, yeah. It's a kid.
I watched it at
my-
like a friend's house.
My cousin had it. I don't think I've ever actually watched it in full, but like I know enough.
Yeah, and the villains, their thing was just like, I'm gonna scoop your guts out and taxidermy.
yeah.
And like I have never rewatched it, so like in my mind I'm like, it
Yeah,
must
yeah.
be terrifying.
It's built up in your head and your
Yeah,
memory. That
it's
becomes
like,
a lot more horror
it's so
focused than what it probably
terrifying.
is. Yeah.
And then I look back at like pictures of it. I'm like, they're just people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, what? But then for like years, the thought of being taxidermy fucked me up.
I mean, it's kind of a
Yeah, that's
horrifying
fair.
thing.
Yeah, but like those people, you would see in your dreams, be like, I'm gonna taxidermy you. I'm gonna taxidermy the fuck out of you.
Isn't that the plot of
It is
House of
Walrus?
Wax.
There's an actual horror
House of
movie
Wax,
about
yeah.
that.
They make mannequins out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be watching that.
Yeah, no.
No, that was just one of those things that stuck with me. I don't even know how old I was when I watched it. Maybe 10,
Yeah.
and just that because they
That movie
showed,
came out when we
they had,
would have been like, what?
You would have been 4. It was 2005.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh,
Even I feel old and it's me.
I would have been
Yeah.
8.
and they
Yeah.
went through, I think, like their room of taxidermied stuff, and you know that's things you've seen in a museum before.
Yeah.
But seeing it in that light, I was like, oh
Yeah,
my
yeah, they're like
God.
imagine, people.
Yeah, imagine just
But,
you
like
visualize.
the target audience for this is like children.
Yeah.
It's like a mild movie.
Yeah, it's like a
very-
PG.
It's a
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a lot of kids movies out there that have freaky shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just think like, surely this will not cause any harm to any child.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
like-
did make series of unfortunate events with Jim Carrey in it, which
yeah.
Jim Carrey's terrifying.
yeah, like I don't know who thought that was a good idea for kids.
No.
Like even though it's
Yeah.
not that scary and it never bothered me as a kid, I'm like
Jim Carrey.
They saw
the way they play it is kind of.
they saw that he was in The Grinch and was like, that's how
Yeah.
you make a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie right there.
People
yeah.
love The Grinch.
Mm.
No, there are a lot of people
I know,
that love
I
the
know.
fucking Grinch.
I question all of them.
Oh, same.
Like there's details from that particular one of the scenes where they talk about like ripping fingernails off and like pulling the teeth out.
Yeah.
And that to this day is the one thing I cannot see faked even. I will just close
Wow.
eyes. I'm like,
I mean, to be
absolutely
fair,
not.
pulling teeth and fingernails is
It's just-
Yeah,
not
yeah.
a fun thing to watch.
No,
It's-
of course it's not a
No.
fun
Yeah.
thing to watch. But you know, we live in a day and age now where we saw the video of Charlie Kirk being shot, and people are like, "You think this is extreme? I've been watching beheading since I was 5."
I'll have you know, I was on Live Leak in the
Yeah.
mid 2000s.
I hate the internet.
That's a deep reference for some people, I think.
Yeah, no, that for me is like the peak of absolutely not
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
it. I do not see the point in you wanting to recreate it because no one wants to fucking see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nanny McPhee, I don't recommend it.
Don't show it to
Don't-
kids.
Don't do that. No.
I had a somewhat similar thing. It's not a movie I've only ever seen a bit of it once because it was on TV, and I've been too scared to ever watch it ever again. Return to Oz.
Oh, the one with
Oh.
what's his Franco? No.
I couldn't tell you. It's been that long. I was
Yeah.
like a child and I was terrified. I can remember. From what I know, it's kind of a freaky movie. Just
Yeah.
overall,
Yeah.
like it's a kids movie, but it's not really a kids
Mhm.
movie, like in that sense. But there's this one scene. I want to say it's the villain of the movie is some kind of witch or whatever.
Mhm.
And like at one point, she just has this entire room dedicated to severed heads,
Oh.
and like the severed heads are
That's a
alive.
lot.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Futurama.
Yeah, but nowhere near as funny. They don't make jokes about George Washington.
Yeah, there's no Nixon. Just, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, if any of the heads started going like that, I would have loved it.
Yeah.
See, I think it's all about how you portray it, and I get like it's a movie for
Yeah.
kids, and you want it to be like villainous and scary. Maybe don't.
Yeah. But like I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I can't remember if it's just severed heads for severed heads' sake because she's a villain, or if like there was this weird thing where like she would swap the heads on her, like her body and stuff, and that was a whole thing. It was weird. And it was a long time ago. If I'm misremembering
Yeah.
this, please tell me if anyone is listening to this that knows. I'm never watching that movie.
I've never seen Return to Oz.
I was thinking of Oz the Great and Powerful. It's not James Franco. Just
I mean, that's scary because it's a bad movie.
Yeah.
That's a completely different movie.
I've-
yeah, I just
altogether.
heard Oz and I was like, oh yeah, the James Franco thing.
I've not seen.
no.
I mean,
Oz
I
the
heard
Great and
Oz and went,
Powerful.
oh yeah, the follow up to. Well, it's a pseudo follow up to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oz.
It's sort of more based on the book as well. From
Yeah.
what I remember, because I have tried to look up this movie just to confirm
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
real,
Yeah.
yeah,
and I didn't just have a nightmare.
that good old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like this didn't happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
my brain's not capable of just
yeah,
scaring me.
I,
That's
I couldn't have made that up myself, could
No.
I? Could I?
fine.
Not at that age.
No.
But yeah, Return of Oz is one of those movies that you just come across late at night as a kid. So for a kid, me that'd be like 9, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just see it and you're unsure if it was a real movie, like the next day or
Yeah.
any time after that. Because I had that with that movie, and I also, to jump into another one that I've just remembered, I can't remember if it was I think it might have been Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh.
Fair.
Which, you know, I've looked back on clips on. That's not a scary movie.
No.
That's a
No.
funny.
But
That's
I
a
think
funny
if
movie.
you watch it as a child,
Yeah.
There's
it's
two
freaky.
movies that are gonna give you the fear of clowns, and it's It or Killer
Yeah.
Clowns from
That
Outer
might have
Space.
Yeah.
genuinely given me a fear of clowns as a kid. I can't remember if that happened, because I was genuinely scared of clowns as a kid. But I can't remember if it happened before or after I watched that movie because it was a long time ago. I want to say it was before. So watching that movie was just especially
Yeah.
a freak out for me. But like, I don't remember screaming or actually freaking out. I just remember being like entranced by that movie for like a bit and being like,
Oh.
like, you know, when you're watching something so terrifying you can't really move.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like all the
Yeah.
things that I'm thinking of that scare me as a child. Is that feeling like I would just go. And then like look for the remote. To
Yeah,
turn it
yeah,
off.
yeah.
And it's a feeling like I cannot leave, like because if I leave, it'll be there when I'm back. You know,
Yeah,
like it's,
yeah.
I need to
Yeah,
turn
yeah.
it off.
I can't turn my back on it; it'll get me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
If I switch the channel, it'll pop up on the next channel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the flight or fight response.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
There's the other option, which is just being rooted in fear.
Yeah. And then you lay in bed at night, it's like, it's behind me. I cannot turn because I know it's right fucking there. He's right. I know it's there. I can
Yeah.
feel it's
He's
fucking there.
behind
I think as a kid, I was just like, that didn't happen. That's not real.
I don't know. I fully convinced myself in my head. I was like, no, he's behind me. And I just don't want to face that that's my reality. So I'm just going to not acknowledge
Yeah,
that. Okay, we're just going to live here and lay in here in fear and not fall asleep for a few hours.
Until the sun comes up.
Yup. I think it's healthy.
That's very healthy.
Yeah. No,
I don't need therapy.
No, I don't think anyone does.
No.
Therapy's
Therapy's a
scam.
myth.
Go on.
That's an official message of this podcast.
From the Asterix and Obelix movie.
The
What?
animated or live action?
I think the live action one.
Really? Which
They get stretched.
one? Oh yeah, they get
Hold
stretched,
on.
yeah.
Sorry. Say that again. What is this?
Asterisk and
Ast-
Obelix?
Asterix and Obelix.
Obelix?
I don't know what this is.
Wow.
Really?
I am unknown.
It's a Belgian comic
Comic
book,
book.
but there's like the film.
Yeah.
Those are
There's
like
also
cartoons.
animated, yeah, because
Yeah.
I had like a VHS set of the live action and like some of the cartoons and stuff.
So I don't know the lore. Is it the Roman Empire?
It's a little village.
It's the
in
Roman
France,
Empire.
Yeah.
and it's like they're being invaded by the Romans, but they like fight back. They're the only
Two that
village
fight
in
back,
in the what's it called Gallic.
Yeah.
The Gallic that fight back
Mm.
because they have the potion
Mm-hmm.
that makes them strong.
The
Yeah.
potion.
And Obelix was dropped in the potion pot when he was a child,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's why he's always strong. The other ones have to drink it, and they get strong for a bit. It's like Popeye's.
Yeah,
Spinach.
kinda,
Yeah.
Yeah, so in the movie they get captured by the Romans, and it's like, you have to tell
As
us
you do.
about what I now gonna assume is the potions. And so they put them on the stretch machines, and they stretch them.
Yeah,
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Is
that.
it like
yeah,
a
yeah.
cartoon sort of stretch thing? or
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
CG.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Have
it's
you
That's
ever-
what I'm figuring.
This reminds me of something else that's really scary. I really liked this film as a child, but this sequence was so scary. Have you seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
Are you about to
No.
talk about the depth?
Where when the guy gets squished.
I haven't seen the
I'm
movie in full.
Melting,
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
and and who's the actor? It's from Back to the Future.
Marty McFly?
No. Christopher Lloyd.
Oh,
Yes, Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
And it's like the villain in this film, and it's like this cartoon world.
Yeah.
It's like mixed with real life and
Uh-huh.
cartoon characters. And at the end, this character is being killed. It's melting in acid or something. I don't remember.
Mm.
And the film is really like mild and like he
Yeah,
enjoys
yeah.
it all. But at the ending, he fucking melts. Like his eyeballs like pop out or something. And he goes,
Jesus.
"I'm melting." Or
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know what this.
Yeah.
I watched it in Italian years ago, and that was fucking freaky. But
Honestly,
I love the
wow.
film. The film is so fun.
I think that's semi-common because I know that about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I have it on 4K. I still haven't watched it. I need to. But like I know of it and I know scenes of it. And there's like that part at the end, but there's also like a prelude to that like in the middle of the movie because like the thing that like I think it's explained that like the only way a cartoon can actually die is if they're putting this like substance.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe that's a substance thing that
Yeah,
kills him. Yeah,
I can't remember it's called like the dip or whatever. But
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's this like sort of like showcase that the villain does and what it does, and it takes like this tiny little cartoon like shoe thing, and it fucking
Yes.
kills him.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Like-
it just to show how we
Yeah,
die.
and the
yeah.
shoe is like screaming.
I haven't seen the film in a long time.
I mean, the main character is the guy that played Mario.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bob Hoskins.
Bob
That's
Hoskins,
it,
yes.
yeah. I think I watched it in like high school at some point. Not like
It feels
as
like
in
high
when I was
school
in high school. Like we were in high school,
Yeah.
like watching
Like
it
an
in
end of term
class.
movie,
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like an Emma Turner.
Yeah.
No, I remember. Oh my god, I rented it in VHS at Blockbuster
Wow.
Hell yeah.
together with it was Roger Rabbit, Super Mario, very strange. I rented at the same time, and Nightmare Before Christmas,
Wow.
which as a child again.
Yeah, no.
I could see that how
fucking
that
scary.
would-
Like,
yeah.
I would skip all the
Boogie
fast forward all the when you see all
boogie
the
scenes.
like I never seen the full until we watched together.
Yeah, like.
I never
2
seen like
years
from
ago?
start to finish. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
See,
I love that movie.
I wasn't a skip forwarder, maybe because I just didn't have the remote usually.
Yeah. You weren't allowed
So
the
I was
remote.
like, okay. I'll just sit
Suffer
through
as the
this.
middle child.
Yeah, maybe I'll just casually grab a drink, but also slightly be unable to look away.
Yeah,
You know?
Your
That's
eyes get
how
glued.
It's that feeling. Right?
Yeah. Ugh.
I love like children media. Like this
It's
fucking.
weird. Yeah. No, the stretching
you think is
freaked
healthy?
me out. I think. Why?
No, some things are healthy. Like be scared of like
Yeah.
like scary. If
Yeah,
not too
yeah.
scary.
Like a
but,
small amount
Roger
of
Rabbit, the
controlled
guy gets
fear,
melted.
Yeah, you don't want to like
Melts.
completely shelter a
Yeah.
kid
Yeah,
because that's
yeah.
just going to make it worse for them
Uh-huh.
later on.
Yeah, stranger danger. Of course.
Yeah.
I don't think that's quite this, but
Like Monsters
Cool.
Inc. is, when we
Yeah.
were young, probably like some elements of that were kind
Yeah.
of scary. So like
Never
that's controlled.
The
never
doors.
scared me. Never scared me. I don't know what you're talking
Never scared
about.
me.
I was never
What are
scared.
you, a coward?
I can
I watch it in the
full.
dark.
What are you, a pussy? Didn't scare me. Don't know what you're talking
No,
about.
me. I could have never
No,
scared
You
me.
went in
man.
so hard.
Dude, I didn't even cry. At the
I
end.
put so much energy into
You
that.
did.
I didn't even cry.
Didn't you cry? Not once.
Didn't even cry.
Yeah, okay. Wait, you cried Toy Story? Not me.
No.
Not me.
Well, Toy Story also has scary bits. Fuck, I remember that Sid.
Oh, yeah, the first
toys
film,
that
yeah.
You've never seen Toy Story?
No.
What?
Unreal. We have
What?
To watch
We've
it.
talked about this before.
Is this
You
about your
have.
fucking fear of little
No.
dolls?
No,
I just
no,
never got
I remember
to it.
this. We've talked about
We have
this.
to watch it.
We've
It's like
talked-
an hour and a half.
we
You
have
gotta
talked-
watch it, yeah.
It's like when
First
when he-
three genuinely great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we've heard.
And when he like manipulate, like what do you call
Yeah.
it? Not called but like he mixes and
Mixes
matches
them
Yeah,
up,
yeah, he
yeah.
smashes
Toys
them together.
the little spider head, like what is it?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's
Spider-
The cunty fishing pole.
Country
yeah,
fishing pole.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean,
Yeah.
but that was so uncalled for.
It's like
Wasn't it canonically called the hooker?
No,
Yeah, I
it
think
wasn't
so.
canonically called anything, but it was very much a
no,
a
I think
hooker.
I think Woody
Yeah.
goes the hooker.
Yeah, it's that favorite, my favorite Disney line. Look, get the hooker.
kill the hooker. That's how it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it goes on, sex work as in real more work rand. But I think that's only extended edition. I'm not sure.
Yes,
R
it's
cut.
the director's
R-rated
cut.
cut.
That's
yeah.
the unrated cut in
Yeah.
the VHS
Yeah,
release.
yeah,
Yeah.
Never made it in.
Disney
anywhere.
After
No.
Dark.
Yeah. I just remember in that fucking stretching scene. I'm sorry to go back to.
Yeah.
No, go
They
ahead.
stretched the dog.
They stretch the dog.
Yeah.
They stretched the dog.
They stretched
Yeah.
the dog.
Holy shit.
There's a dog.
Okay, cool. There's a dog. I
Yeah.
know that now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they stretched it out. And I think because the fear of it in my head, I'm like, your fingers are gonna pop off. I don't know why. That is the scary part to me.
For me, it would be the
When they're
limbs.
stretching, yeah, like I feel like there's a lot more to fear about being stretched than just like your fingers popping off.
No, that's the part that freaks
It's
me out.
Melina's fear.
Yeah.
She's allowed to be
Yeah, let me have
weirdly
my
focused
fear.
on whatever she wants.
Yeah, come on. And we were talking about it yesterday, where I think it's a Tumblr post that I saw like years ago.
Terrifying.
It's semi-related to this, where someone asked the questions like, "Do you think in those like medieval stretching torture things, there's a second where it feels like really good, like your both
Typical
like
Tumblr post.
you know,
Yeah.
you just really need your back stretched,
And he goes,
and you're like, oh,
it pops.
Okay, on
Yeah.
Okay, you can
say it
stop
like
yourself.
that, I kind of get it.
Yeah,
But my,
that-
my initial reaction is that, girl, you're just a masochist.
Yeah.
yeah. I think there is a second where you're probably like, oh, I needed that shoulder put back in place, and that's
And then
really
you go,
good.
stop.
Stop.
It's more like that Simpsons episode where Homer just throws people on like a garbage can and it fixes their back. That was one of the good episodes of Middle Simpsons as well.
Wow.
Some of the Treehouse of Horrors, holy shit, they scared me.
Ah.
Especially the old ones where Ned is the devil.
I never got scared of Treehouse of Horror.
Really? Oh, I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
SpongeBob had some real gnarly like.
Oh yeah,
with the art style would be
Oh,
getting
wait,
real
the
intense.
very
Oh,
close
yeah,
ups.
yeah.
The super close.
I don't think any of them
close-ups.
scared me, but like a few of them definitely made me uncomfortable.
There-
as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
kid.
yeah, yeah.
There was
they
this
leave a mark on you.
Yeah.
There was this one episode I had that was one of the few I had on like the video I got for like my birthday or whatever once, and like it's a spooky-ish episode. It's like the episode where like SpongeBob and Squidward are like at the Krusty Krab like for the night shift.
Oh
Oh.
yeah. I know what
I
you're
was
talking
thinking-
about.
The thing
He's
is, I
just standing. That's. I think that's the same episode.
That's not the same episode.
Is it not?
No,
I'm sure that's the same episode.
I don't think it is.
Because I think.
I would have loved that line as a kid if it was.
Ah.
It's when they're on the night shift and they're stuck there, and like at one point, just briefly explain the plot of the episode. Squidward decides to have some fun with SpongeBob because he's fucking bored and he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So like he makes up this like fake killer and like Bikini Bottom that's like the
yeah.
hash slinging slasher, and like the joke is at the end of the episode. A customer comes to the Krusty Krab at like in the middle of the night, and because of like the shadow and stuff, it looks like the killer that Squidward's like describing, and it terrifies them both. I never got scared of that episode at all, but there is this one sort of what the fuck moment at the end where like there's all these different things happening, like what Squidward's explaining are actually happening, like the phone ringing, and then the phone rings and
Is
stuff.
it Nosferatu?
It is Nosferatu.
Oh yeah,
I
that's what's right
knew
there.
it would be
Yeah.
Nosferatu.
He's like, so if that was you on the phone and you on the bus, then who was flickering the lights? And then it just cuts to a clip of Nosferatu. That never scared me or
Yeah.
anything.
No,
It scared
yeah.
other kids from what I learned on the internet years later, but it never scared me. I was just like, oh,
That is,
that's neat.
if you think about it, it's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Because I showed it to you after we watched the original Nosferatu, because I was like, you're not gonna believe this.
This episode is all I can think about whenever I hear about Nosferatu.
Yeah.
When the movie came out last year, I kept laughing my ass off. Nosferatu.
You
I am
silly man.
playing
guy.
with the Switch. I am
Because
in
they're
Bikini Bottom. I don't have time to do it properly.
Not to get too into the SpongeBob thing, but that episode's weird in the fact that I think it's the only episode that addresses the fact that the Krusty Krab is a 24-hour restaurant.
yeah, I think
It
so.
becomes a 24-hour restaurant in that episode.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then never again.
No.
No, just for that one. Oh, we should do a night shift episode. I'm like, okay.
I like to headcanon Squidward just goes up to Mr. Krab and be like, if you do this again, I quit.
Yeah.
And Mr. Krabs has no other staff.
Yeah.
So
You know what? Fair enough. Yeah. Because there's also the SpongeBob episode where he goes like on the bus.
yeah.
Oh, to
I've not seen it, but I know
is
this
it Rock
episode.
Bottom?
I think Rock,
Rock
Bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Is it?
It's like the
It's
way.
a little scary.
yeah, the way you
don't
got there.
Understand.
Yeah.
Your
yeah,
accent.
And like, cause it will arrive just like bus on road, then the road just goes straight
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That scared me.
It comes back again in like the movie. If I
Yeah.
remember right.
Really?
Yeah, because like they go to the I don't think it's the exact same area, but it's the same sort of vibe. Like there's this
Yeah.
huge like trench with all these like monsters and stuff. It never scared me, but like some of the monster designs I think are kind of freaky.
Yeah.
It also there's also a few levels in the video game of the movie. Loved that
Wow,
game as a
deep
kid.
lore.
I know. Loved that game as a kid. Never beat it though, because it was a
Games-
collectathon and I was shit at
Wii
collectathons.
games, especially when I was a really young kid, like when they put horror in games that have none,
Yeah.
like that will always fuck me. Like, oh, fuck,
Yeah, no,
I
of
cannot
course.
finish it now. Like
You've scared me. I have to
the
give
very
up.
first, like the console Prince of Persia,
Ah.
it came out so many years ago. It's supposed like big sand zombies.
Oh.
For some miracle, I finished the game because I think it was very fun to play.
You're just
But, like,
screaming.
even-
while you're playing.
No, even the first Uncharted when it came out, I had the big like the zombie, the
Yeah.
colonial, whatever the fuck they
Uh-huh.
were. I never finished the game. I was like, and I was an adult. I was,
I
like,
was gonna
Yeah.
say.
Uncharted
That
was like 2007.
2011.
Yeah, I was
oh yeah,
16,
2007.
I was
That was
16, I was
4
like-
years ago.
I was 16. I was like,
Absolutely.
I can finish it. But there are so many more that I'm not thinking of, like even Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
like the very old ones.
This sort of segues into another one. I don't know if anyone. I feel like I've been talking
Go
for a
for it.
while.
No, you've got good stuff. Go.
Okay, and this kind of segues into like one of the big ones that I remember as a kid. It's, funnily enough, it's one of my favorite video games of all time. But it took me years to complete because there are key moments and key sections of the story that scared the crap out of me.
Oh yeah.
And it was Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
That's
right,
crazy.
Yeah.
I know. Because I fucking love that game so much. I've played it, I've watched so many playthroughs of it, I know so many secrets about it, but it took me years to finish the game. Mainly for one type of enemy, and one type of enemy alone, Redeads. And to briefly explain what a Redead is, they're basically the zombie enemies of the Zelda series, but they're super creepy. They're sort of like very human-esque in a game series whose character designs aren't very human-esque. They have these like, if you stand near them, they have this low drumming humming to them, and if you get close to them, they scream at you.
Oh.
Like very loudly, very realistically, they scream at you.
Oh.
And the extra worst part is if they scream at you, they stun Link, so you can't move.
Oh.
And if they get close to you, they sort of like grapple around Link's like head and stuff, and start like, it's almost like it's trying to snap his neck. It's really creepy for a game that is not creepy for the rest of it.
Yeah, no, that sounds.
Yeah. If I knew there was a section of the game I was about to come up with that had Redeads in it, I would genuinely freeze and not be able to get past that section for months. And it got worse when I got to one of the temples of the game near the end that is meant to be creepy, the Shadow Temple. It has those enemies in it, along with like a separate mini dungeon that you need to complete to get to that dungeon with those enemies. So it took me so many years to get through that game. Majora's Mask was fine with though.
That's crazy.
Which is the scarier game.
Yeah. Like tonally, the Majora's Mask is the one that's meant to be scary.
Oh yeah. Nah, Ocarina of Time.
Wow.
Horror game. Terrified.
I mean, was there a big age difference between the two when you played, or like the
No,
same thing?
I mean, I started. If we're talking about when I played it, the games are rated like 12.
Yeah, probably.
When they came out, they were probably 7, but you know, the elements I just talked about probably bumped the age rating a bit when the remake came out. But I played it when I was like 10, and I don't think I fully complete the story until I was like 14, 15. Wasn't proud of it for a long time. Yeah.
I know we discussed this briefly before, me and Sean, that the fucking Willy Wonka Johnny Depp movie.
Oh, the Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah,
okay.
I've never seen.
He's a spooky man in that movie.
But the thing is, like, as I remember nightmares from when I was 4 years old.
Yeah.
Of me being in a glass elevator. And the bottom falling, like opening up, and me just falling forever.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Johnny Depp, though.
No,
that movie.
The glass elevator in that movie is kind of creepy the way it comes up.
It just fucking does whatever the fuck it wants.
Like,
I mean,
and
I've
it
seen the
mirrored
movie, so.
exactly what my dream as a 4-year-old was.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's because it's the glass elevator in that movie specifically. It's not like the 70s one where it's like there's like nice music playing underneath. It's like
shoots.
It goes so fast in the 2005 movie, and it's like it's kind of played a horror. There's like the horror-esque music playing, and Johnny Depp's doing that fucking laugh.
I mean, the music in that movie makes everything terrifying.
Yeah,
is
like
it Danny
the
Elfman? Because it's a
Probably.
Tim Burton
It's probably
movie.
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, but he does like a creepy children's choir throughout the whole thing.
The Chocolate River.
Oh, yeah.
That's not fun. No.
I still kind of struggle watching that movie in full. One, because it's a bad movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not that it scares me. I just don't. It's not a good movie.
But I do have
Danny Elfman.
Yeah.
I do have that very latent trauma in the back of my head of like, I just don't like you as a guy, Mr. Willy Wonka, Johnny Depp.
See, the thing is, I still go back to it because I genuinely do like that movie. Because I watched it as a kid so many times because it's just one of the DVDs your dad burned. So you just kind of always had it. So if you were ill and there was nothing on TV,
That's what you put on.
you put that on.
I say it's a bad movie. I don't hate the movie or dislike it. I just, I'm gonna pick the other one over
I'm
it
gonna
every
pick
time.
Willy Wonka 100% of the time. Yeah.
I need to watch.
Have you not seen?
You've not seen Willy Wonka?
Okay, that's worse than Toy Story.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Everyone needs to see Willy Wonka at some point in the Chocolate Factory.
Come with me.
Please no. No, thank you.
Yeah, you like the fact that the glass elevator about all the weird and disturbing. I mean, the squirrels in that movie.
Oh, yeah,
were
yeah.
Also terrifying.
Don't they eat one of the kids alive?
Yes and no. They throw her down
Just
the
a bit.
trash chute.
Oh yeah,
They make sure at the end of the movie they show that all the kids get out.
yeah. That and you know what? That's actually better than the original because they
Yeah,
don't show those
they
kids
don't
as
show
still
them.
alive.
Oh no, they're dead.
I mean, it's a bunch
They're
of
done
fucked
for.
up kids. Like one's been stretched and juiced.
Yeah, like they're not human after that. But
I've been juiced.
Yeah.
Blueberry Girl,
Violet Bow.
Violet, yeah.
Beauregard, yeah.
that kind of freaked me out a little bit. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
I mean,
I
think
haven't
for-
seen
It's
Charlie
close to
and
the
the Chocolate
stretching thing from the Asterix and Obelix.
Yeah, but like
It
we don't
gave me
see
the
that
same-
part. We
No,
just
but like
see her
how like a
fully
human that's
stretched.
stretched, it's something so grotesque. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
So I haven't seen the remake or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in a while. Does the same thing happen to her, and that is what happens to her in Willy Wonka? Does she?
I can't remember because sometimes yeah, she goes into a giant like blueberry, but you know it's 2005 CGI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And so they just kind of roll her out of the room.
Yeah, with admittedly a funky Oompa Loompa song.
I've been trying to find that song on Spotify because it's generally bop.
Yeah, the thing is, the Oompa Loompa songs in both versions are really good. They're both very different though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking ballad
Yeah,
songs.
it's that one, and in the 2005 one specifically, there's just like one rock anthem one that they do for like
the
the
TV kid?
yeah, the TV kid. That one stayed in my head as a kid for a
Oh.
while.
Yeah.
It's great. I do have a funny version of my trauma with this movie though.
Okay.
It's not to do with the movie itself. I kind of told you a little bit
Yeah.
on the way here, but like, it must when that movie was coming out. Obviously there was a bunch of marketing everywhere. I remember as a small child going into I think a WH Smith with my mum or whatever, and obviously that movie's coming out. They're trying to advertise the book as well.
Yeah.
But there's this. I remember distinctly they had this one cardboard cutout of like Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka, just like in the corner of the store. It's like
Hello.
staring at you, and he scared the fucking crap out of me. I didn't want to go back into that store for a long time after that.
oh my god, I'm getting so many memories. Oh, I went to see Space Jam in theater when it came out.
Okay.
Is it gonna be the flattened guy?
No, I mean that's more funny than scary though.
It's
Yeah.
kind of freaky.
But when I went to see Space Jam, it was this like its old theater, like cinema in Florence, and it's like this historical building, and so you go up, you go to the gallery, called the
Yeah.
galleries,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I think 101 Dalmatians, whatever it's called in English,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out at the
Yeah,
same time.
101 Dalmatians.
Or maybe it was a
Oh.
sequel. I don't remember if it was a sequel.
102.
It could be,
Dalmatians,
it
I
could
think
be.
it's the sequel.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that is.
So.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be. And
that was my fault.
They had this lady. She was basically cosplaying as Cruella de Vil,
Oh.
giving out M&Ms. It's like an ad
No,
for the
no.
film.
Oh, it's
I
an
know
ad.
exactly what you're
Okay.
talking
I
about.
thought you
She
meant there was
was-
just a patron
I'm sorry,
who
like
was really.
No.
That lady was not giving out M&Ms. That was drugs.
No, it wasn't
Yeah, yeah.
M&Ms.
Those were roofies.
And she was just saying, the Dalmatians movie's also out. And for years I thought I met the real Cruella de Vil, but she was scared because she was like she was a very tall woman and was a small child. This is for you. Go watch the film. I was like, okay. And I remember I was eating M&Ms during Space Jam, and I was like, she'll be out there and she will skin me alive.
She's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like.
She's behind me.
Mom, I have to go see 102 Dalmatians. I promise. I promise it's
She'll hunt me down if I
It's-
don't.
and so in random dreams when I was a kid, I just dreamed of her giving me M&Ms.
Can I just say, I love that you described her as very tall as well, because I have this image of you like small you looking up at her like Willem Dafoe.
That is
Like,
yeah. 100%.
And your
Um,
dad is just like, don't
yeah.
stare at the lady.
No, he was
Yeah,
Don't
please.
stop staring at the
no,
lady.
he was so happy. He's like, look. I was
Look
like,
who's
no, this is
here."
not a good thing. This is scaring me.
He's a
And-
villain.
yes.
She wanted to skin
She's
him
evil.
alive.
She's
Skin
gonna
dog.
skin me.
But other dreams that I had, like more nightmares, was I showed you the Death Becomes Her
Yeah.
film. It's like this Robert Zemeckis film in which Meryl Streep and this other lady, I don't know who she is.
Someone else.
I didn't recognize
They
her.
drink
Same.
this potion that makes them immortal, but they can still get like fatally injured, but they don't die. So you
Yeah.
saw like this lady had like a big hole in her stomach because Meryl Streep shot her in the
Yeah.
stomach. And for years I fucking dreamt this lady with a hole in her stomach, and I only saw the ad for the film because it was like the thing they put
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
like
Yeah, no, of
on
course.
TV.
Yeah.
So I never even seen the fucking thing.
Wow.
But for years I dreamt her.
You dreamt her.
Goldie Hawn, that's who it was.
Goldie
Oh, no.
Hawn.
Yeah. I don't know how I didn't recognize her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, by the way, because when we were watching that clip, you brought up Casper.
Yes, because
Oh.
it looked kind of similar to the
Yeah.
Casper house.
But that reminded me, I do have trauma with that
Oh,
movie.
for the love of
Like, to be
God,
fair, same,
Jesus.
especially the first one.
Yeah.
Holy shit, it's scary.
Like the first live action, like Casper.
yeah.
I
There's
there's
more than one?
Yes.
the other ones are straight to video.
Oh, okay, that makes
It-
sense.
I had one of the sequels.
The dad is in the first one, right? Yeah, the dad of the girl.
yeah, the dad
It's
and the
Bill
daughter.
Pullman. It was in
Yeah.
Lost Highway. I
my
never realized it was the same
Yeah, and-
guy.
and the
Of
daughter-
all the, I mean, I get it. You're a
Yeah.
big David Lynch fan, but of
Yeah.
all the films to connect him to,
Yeah.
And the daughter, if I remember correctly, is Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family movies.
Oh,
I think
yes,
so.
what's
I
her
think so,
name?
yeah.
Christina
Ricci.
Ricci, yeah.
yeah,
But who small me may have had a crush on.
Ah.
fair.
But like, I have trauma with that movie because like, there's this one specific scene. I think it's when they're first going into the house, and like the dad is being messed with by like the young
Oh,
ghost or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And it's when he's looking into the mirror.
It's because it's a reference to Poltergeist.
Eh,
Yeah, his face falls off or something.
No,
They change it into like different.
yeah, it's like there's like Rodney Dangerfield. There,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't scared of him.
Mhm.
Like Mel Gibson, I was scared of him for very different reasons later
Lord
on.
knows. Lord knows. I'm
But
scared.
the one that genuinely, I think I remember myself screaming. I probably didn't scream, but like the one that genuinely caused me trauma. He turns into the fucking crypt keeper
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
one
yeah,
point
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and does like a scream. Now it's funny,
Yeah.
but as a kid, I didn't get the reference obviously, so I
Yeah.
thought he just turned into like a face melting zombie,
Yeah.
like you described.
yeah.
So that scared the crap out of me, and I didn't want to watch that movie for a long time.
It's funny because the Crypt Keeper's the only topical one
Yeah,
there, because like
Yeah.
obviously Rodney Dangerfield, Mel Gibson.
those
What
are
kids
aged
are
references.
gonna-
Just cameos
Yeah.
for the parents. That
Yeah.
brought the
Yeah,
kids
yeah.
to the
Yeah.
cinema.
Also, am I forgetting that like they kind of try and make Bill Pullman like hot in that movie?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like hair and
Yeah.
the glasses.
it's kind of weird.
It doesn't work.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Bill Pullman is a kind of attractive guy, especially in his
Yeah,
youth. But
yeah.
like, this is a kids' film. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Why are you doing that?
I think they had to like had a reason for like parents to go like, oh, he's a
Yeah.
dad, he's attractive like me, you know.
He's literally me, for real.
He's the mom candy.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
no, for
some
real.
some
Yeah, no,
movies have
it's-
something for the dads.
Yeah,
Something
it's-
for the
some-
mas.
and it's
For the
something
buzz.
something that doesn't exist anymore because people don't go to theaters
Yeah.
anymore. So it's like
Yeah.
who gives a shit? But like back then, you have to think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
shit.
how it works.
Mhm.
But like, you look better as a ghost. I'm sorry, you look better in that movie as a ghost. As a CG ghost.
Does he get resurrected in the film?
Yeah,
Or
he
just
dies, and then they bring him back because Casper's whole thing is he wants to be a real boy again.
It's Pinocchio.
All right,
they make,
Pinocchio.
so they make the real live machine, not actual name. I've just made that up.
Yeah.
But like his whole thing is that he's trying to like make this machine to bring himself back to life.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends. I can't remember exactly what it is, but he ends up only being able to use it once. So he uses it to bring back
Yeah.
the dad that
Yeah.
died like halfway through the movie.
Mhm.
Aw.
And it's like, I like to
Ah.
remember things my way.
I reject your reality and substitute
died.
my own.
Film just ends with Bill Pullman.
Oh,
driving
yeah,
a
yeah,
car.
There was no daughter and
There
some
was-
Silent Hill music.
Melina hates this because she hates that movie.
What do you mean you hate it? You watched it in theaters.
I
You
hated
loved it.
I remember we watched it in New York, and after watching it a second time in theaters, I was like, I don't think I will ever watch this again.
Wow.
So many people
Why'd you watch
left
it twice?
like midway through.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, we know this is a David Lynch film.
Yeah.
Just left and never came back.
Yeah,
Wow.
rightfully so.
I'm making a sorry
I
face.
would never leave in the middle of a movie if I paid for it. Or it's gotta
No,
be.
But even like you have to
bad.
see like you have to say I watched it all and it was shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Leaving it midway like halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because you're not going to know what the fuck's going on at
Yeah.
that point either.
I mean,
Mm.
it's not like in
Do you
that
have- at
case, it's not
any
like you're gonna
point-
have yeah.
yeah, I mean, okay, fair enough, yeah.
And another thing that going back to the thing that scared me. It's parodies and stuff that's not supposed to scare you because like
Mhm.
Death Becomes Her. It's like it's basically like the ending of the film they fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
I watched these clips years later because I was like I need to kind of like
yeah.
I need to overcome
You-
it.
I need to know.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh, wow, this is really looks so like silly. It's just
Mhm.
silly stuff. And at the ending of the film, like they just fall apart.
Yeah.
They're just fighting and they like go downstairs and their bodies just like break into
Yeah.
pieces.
Mhm.
But another thing was, oh my god, it was a Mel Brooks spoof of Dracula, of Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Was it Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Leslie
Wow.
Nielsen. There is a clip when McNichol, what's the McNichols? The guy that's like his little servant.
I haven't actually seen it, but I have like.
Oh.
only seen the
He's playing the
clips.
role of the servant, and he's like eating cockroaches on a boat.
Mm.
I was so scared. I was like, you cannot eat. You
You
cannot
can't
do
do
that.
that, bro.
You can't
It was
do
so-
that.
and, like,
That's
and
illegal.
Looking at it, it's a spoof. It's like a scary movie.
Yeah.
It's a scary movie. The series. Well,
Yeah.
the scary-
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that isn't that a spoof of something that actually happens in
Yeah.
the Francis Ford
Yeah.
Coppola
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
He like eats a rat or something
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. That movie was not good.
That was a weird
That
movie.
was
It was
Oh.
a horny fucking movie.
It was.
God.
I wish it wasn't so horny.
It was so long as well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
sorry.
If you want to hear more of our thoughts on that, please listen to the
Just
episode
go
where we
back
talk about it.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
So Dracula is something that it was always in the back of my head, and thinking about this episode, I need to remember what it was. It was fucking a spoof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other one I showed is from Are You Afraid of the Dark,
Mhm.
which is not scary at all.
No,
But here's the thing.
That is a Nickelodeon
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
we
pretty-
watched an episode before just
The one
recording
that-
this,
that
'cause
I'm really scared.
I didn't know about the existence of the show.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've
I
never
mean,
heard of it.
to be fair, I wouldn't have known it
Yeah.
unless except for the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if there was like reruns on when I was younger, but I remember Goosebumps and stuff, so I kind of knew of
Yeah,
Are You
I
Afraid of the
thought-
Dark.
For me,
I
it was
was-
a twofold thing because it was probably just before my time because 2000s kid. That's a very 90s
Yeah.
show, and also I didn't have Nickelodeon.
That's the thing is like there were still quite a lot of 90s stuff being shown when I was watching like Nickelodeon stuff growing up, because you had the almost sort of like SNL show that they did. Was it the
Amanda
Amanda show?
Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was like a kind of late 90s thing.
No, I didn't watch it. I just know about it.
Yeah.
Because someone who ran it, is a piece of shit.
Okay. Let's.
We're not
Anyway,
gonna-
moving
Let's
on.
not move on to that topic.
I just remember it being on real late. That's
Yeah,
all I
yeah,
was
yeah.
gonna say. So there was a chance that I might have caught Are You Afraid of the Dark, but I remember Goosebumps is what it was.
Thinking about this specific episode, which by the way is really funny, it's the first episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Goosebumps from the Goosebumps series, but it was just Afraid of the Dark, which I didn't know it existed. I only know because the Jontrons video that they made
Yeah.
about Are You Afraid of the Dark, and then I think just after he put this video, I was like, oh wait a second, I'm connected. Like I think it's the same series, but I never actually really connected the dots. But this one is so non-scary.
Yeah.
It's just like children level of like
Yeah.
spooky, like ooh, and all you see is like a guy that's like pretending to have his hand cut off,
Yeah.
like pulling his
Yeah,
sleeve
yeah.
up, like
Literally
Yeah.
pulls
Look
the
at
Has
me.
his hand in his
yeah, and then
jacket the whole time.
his head twists like backwards
Yeah.
and say, "I'm sort of dead," blah blah. But the thing is, just pretty much like games that there are no horror when they have horror elements in it. It was like ultra traumatic. This was just in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Because when,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, I was like, okay, in the Italian TV, usually like until 9, everything is safe for children,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? 9 to 11, it could be like a maybe edgy film, it could be any
Yeah.
thriller, whatever.
Major.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
not really. Like a Godfather, I don't know, like
Yeah.
something on that level.
Yeah,
And
post
then-
watershed.
Yeah.
And then from
Godfather,
11,
every
11,
day.
yes, 11:30 on, it was like it's fair game. It can be anything.
Yeah, we have
So-
a similar thing.
Similar
in the
things,
UK.
right?
Absolutely,
So I was
yeah.
like, until 11:30, I'm safe.
Mhm.
I just cannot watch TV past 11:30. But then when you just like sprinkle this stuff in the afternoon
Yeah.
or at, like safe times,
Mhm.
quote unquote, that would really make me fucking shit bricks. And this you saw is not scary at all. But for
Yeah.
years it was in the back of my head. I dreamt about this guy,
Wow.
and it was my uncles were there, and they were like, egging me, like, look, like watch it,
Watch it,
like like,
watch
this,
it.
this is
Be scared!
but it's not scary. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they were trying to just rile me up, but I was maybe I don't know, 8, 9.
Prime age.
Yeah.
age, yeah.
Prime scary age. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like in the early 2000s, when I would go to like watch a film, and they put trailers on, depending, and
Yeah.
it's relevant to the film you want to watch.
Yeah.
But sometimes I wanted to watch something a bit more edgy because I was older, and they would put stuff like The Ring
Yeah.
trailer,
Yeah.
and I remembered that also because it was fucking scary. Even the trailer was, and everyone was talking about it.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
not gonna
what-
start. And I can do the sound, but I'm not gonna do it.
Do it.
No.
The sound.
Yeah, like the sound she makes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
like the
Yeah.
Yeah, the guttural, yeah.
a death rattle.
That's kind of funny to me because it always sounds like it's just a low burp.
Yeah, it basically is.
But yeah, those are the things. Like, it was spoofs, but I don't know why.
Yeah,
and like, not neutral. Like, not very offending stuff. Like,
Yeah.
stuff is
Yeah.
meant for children.
Yeah,
For some
yeah.
reason, it would make me so. And it's stuff that I know because the fact that I dreamt about them.
Mm-hmm.
That's like if I had a nightmare, it was 90% chance it was about them, about these people.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, like your mind makes like these things worse, like in memory.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is like
actually
the most terrifying shit I've ever seen, and then I see it now. I'm like,
Yeah, and you realize it's just a guy turning his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're laughing at. You're laughing at.
You're
it.
getting through it.
Sort of related to your thing about the Ring trailer. So when I went to see John Wick 4, this isn't a story about me. This is a story with my cousin, by the way.
Ah, okay.
I went to see it with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. We went to see John Wick 4 when it came out in cinemas, and it's 15. So, you know, you got some horror films at late
Yeah.
showings for trailers being shown in front of it. And one of them was Evil Dead Rise.
Oh.
And it went like dead silent after the trailer ended. My cousin just blurted out, "I don't want to fucking go see that."
No. That's funny. To go off like trailer stuff, I have a really funny story about like this. So I was about like 14 at the time. I want to say like second year of high school, and like at one point I think we were just bored at the end of a week in like a class or whatever, and like the teacher decided, hey, let's just watch some like trailers or whatever. And of course, being a bunch of teenagers,
What you're gonna do is.
all of them want to watch
Yeah.
horror movies,
Yeah.
and I'm the only
Because
one.
they're totally not scared.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And they'll proudly tell you how no, I'm not scared they are. I know myself, and I'm a little bitch. So it ended up with me, if I remember correctly, I had to just leave the class.
Wow.
And just leave the room. Because I just fucking couldn't.
Damn.
I probably
what were
made
they watching?
a massive embarrassment of myself that day. And
what were they watching?
just horror trailers. Just
Oh,
in
horror
class.
trailers, just
yeah,
trailers.
Just
Yeah.
in class, because kids can do what they want, I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of, this is completely unrelated. One Christmas at the end of like the term before we broke up, we were obviously watching stuff in class, and someone brought their Walking Dead box set in, and from class to class, we saw the beginning of that pilot episode so many fucking times. I was ready
God.
to kill that kid.
Yeah.
By the time the day was over, because for some reason, even though all of us brought stuff, he would get picked. And we were like,
Again?
I'm gonna kill him. I'm actually just gonna kill him.
Why did you keep getting picked?
I don't know. I was so. I don't even. Thing is, I eventually came round and liked some of The Walking Dead. Eventually, I don't like it anymore, but
It got to you by force.
it did. Yeah. Fuck me.
I just had a friend in high school who made a super compilation of all the gross moments from the Saw movies.
Oh, the Saw.
Oh.
Okay.
Why?
Saw
Yeah.
is like one horror film series. I'm not big on body horror.
No.
So.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even body, it's just like gore. 'Cause
Yeah,
body horror is like
it's,
Cronenberg stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
What's it
Yeah.
called? Like torture porn.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
like a snuff film. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
and he just kept showing it to people, and I told him, like, look, man, I just don't do well with
Yeah.
that stuff. And he was like, no, look at this one though. And he would just go around showing people, he just had it on his phone, his personal super cut of the Saw movie.
He had the open
God, it's
window.
I think
window
they might have
movie
wanted
maker.
to check that guy's hard drive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. God,
was
can I just say, it's
weird.
great being an adult, because I know now if something like that happened to me, I would have just been like, fuck that. Get that shit out of my
Yeah.
face.
That's so weird. I remember even in like middle school, we would watch music videos. You know, if we had
Yeah.
like 15 minutes left.
Yeah, yeah.
For bell rings. Teacher was like, "Okay, give me a song. Come on."
Yeah, yeah.
Thriller got banned.
Wait, really?
What?
Yeah. So I was in class with my cousin, funnily enough, who was scared of everything, like terrified, terrified of everything. She got so scared of Thriller, we had to stop recommending.
You know what? No, you know what? I'm gonna
they
defend her just a little
do
bit, because as a small kid, that video did freak me out a little.
We
I mean,
were,
as a
like,
small kid, sure,
we were,
but in
like,
high
10.
school.
No, this
Oh,
was
okay, middle school, okay.
So like
Middle school,
10
yeah.
years,
Sorry, I don't
11.
have a concept of
Yeah.
middle school,
Yeah, that's fine.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
I always imagine it's
11.
just like early teen, preteen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great time, and then I got very upset. I was like, oh, this could have been Thriller. It's fine. It's fine.
I got a little older and I learned to love that video so much. That the Vincent Price laugh at the end is amazing.
It's gross talent.
It's the same school where we brought DVDs to watch, you know, end of term, and we weren't allowed to watch a DVD I brought, which was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, because no, witchcraft.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Really?
Yeah.
You went to a religious school, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
That
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're not allowed to watch it. I mean, there's always the one fucking kid in your class who's like, that's witchcraft. My mom says it's witchcraft.
Witch!
And I was like, oh, come on.
It's also funny because that movie actually has an example of like the opposite thing for me, where like there's that one scene in that movie specifically where like they meet like a giant like spider creature or whatever. Apparently people that's a commonly scary thing for people who watch that movie. I didn't clock it was supposed to be scary.
No, what is scary in that movie? The fucking car.
Nothing scary in that
flying
movie to me.
fucking car.
Oh, 'cause it
I didn't
flies
clock
on
that
its
anything
own?
in that movie was
Yeah.
scary.
I mean, if we're talking like Harry Potter and potentially having like scary stuff, like I think Prisoner of Azkaban's the one that I would understand most people.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch past the fourth until I got
The only
Prisoner of
Until
Azkaban's the
15.
third, so
the only
Yeah, but I don't think I watched. No, I only was 1 and 2, and then my mom said, once you're 15, you can watch the
okay.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, and then I stopped caring at like 14.
Yeah,
so I
and
never-
you know what?
yeah.
You made a good decision.
I think
Yeah.
I did.
Because now the
yeah.
scariest part of that series is the author.
Yeah.
I will say though, I do have a little bit of trauma with that series that isn't just, you know, the modern stuff
Yeah.
of the author being a terrible person.
Yeah.
But like the second last movie, Deathly Hallows Part 1, actually did scare the shit out of me as a
Really?
kid. There's a lot of like jump scares and
Yeah.
like just all around creepy stuff because they were very much going into everyone watching these are adults now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I was
everyone's
like
grown up with this
fifth-
movie.
Yeah. I was like-
I think when that one came out.
I was 9 or 10ish, so you know.
Yeah.
I went to see that in theaters. Got so scared I didn't want to watch the next one in theaters.
No.
I saw Half-Blood Prince in theaters, and that's when I was like, I'm fucking bored of this.
I actually had to be dragged to the last movie because that
Wow.
became like a family tradition thing
Oh.
for seeing those movies. Because you know that those I've said it before. Those movies and that series is really big in my family.
Yeah.
For better and now for worse. But anyway, I had to be dragged into the theater for that movie and like convinced that it wasn't gonna be scary, and I was fine. It's just the second last one that freaked me out as a kid. None of those movies are scary now, though. They're all just kind of.
Yeah.
They just kind of exist.
Yeah.
Third one still stands as like the best one because like,
Yeah,
oh,
heard that.
well,
I used to like the
1 and
second.
2,
I used to like the second one as
mean,
my favorite
yeah.
as a kid.
Goblet of Fire became my favorite.
I think that's like the last good one,
Yeah.
sort of like with a clear creative feel to it.
I
Like
think-
1 and 2, Christopher Columbus, of course.
Yeah.
Did the director change between 4 and 5?
So 1 and 2 were Christopher Columbus.
I know that,
3
yeah.
was Alfonso Cuarón. Thank you. I couldn't remember his last name for a second there. I don't know who directed 4 onwards. I think it became like a gig thing
Yeah.
after that. Like I don't think it was a necessarily like big or.
I just know like the
Yeah.
last few were directed by the same guy, and that's when it went. That's when all the color just disappeared completely.
Yeah.
It strikes me as like an almost Mission Impossible esque thing where it kind of became like it hopped between.
Whoever
people.
wants to do it will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still need to see the new Mission Impossibles. Sorry, this has nothing to do with anything.
I'm looking if I have any more on my list. This one I don't think is fair because I just put the Lovely Bones because men are scary.
Real.
Yeah,
What's the lovely bones?
it's the one with
Oh,
Saoirse Ronan. When
We've talked about this, haven't we?
Yeah.
That name's familiar to me.
like Lovely, it's Peter Jackson directed it. It's like a story of a girl that got murdered, and then her sister has to figure out who killed her.
Oh, I don't think I've seen this.
I know that
Very-
title.
Yeah,
I feel
Yeah.
like we've talked about it, but I can't remember
Yeah.
when. It was a while ago.
On here?
yeah. No, I've
I
mentioned it
think
on
so.
the
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
once or twice.
2009.
I
Yeah.
don't know. At some point, there's too many hours of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff. That
To be fair, I remember this way back. So this must have been like first season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
there's 50 hours just in Appcast, and then there's however many fucking hours we've done of this shit already. So you know.
And crystallized forever on the internet, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, the bad guy is played by Stanley Tucci. They give him
Oh,
a beautiful
okay.
comb over, like creepy glasses.
Oh,
and
Stanley Tucci with
everything.
hair.
Barely.
That's freaky.
Yeah, no, he plays it too well, and he's like a scary neighbor, kidnaps her. He has like an underground, under a cornfield. He has like a little hutch.
Oh, is this like an actual horror film?
No,
Like a thriller.
Oh, okay.
it's just no.
It's just freaky.
It was just giving
12 plus.
Last House on the Left vibe.
Yeah.
Whichever one they
with a title
remade.
called The Lovely Bones,
Yeah.
I would have expected like maybe
Yeah.
horror adjacent.
Fucking terrified me
I can imagine.
because he just snatches her basically. You know, just
Yoink.
take
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and you know, being young girl
Yeah.
having to bike home at night.
That's fair.
That
Not
kind of
great.
just
This reminds my mom was watching The Silence of the Lambs,
Okay.
where Buffalo Bill is like kidnapping, and I was just there. I was just watching, and she was really into like true crime and like watching this like thriller stuff. So, no, can you please change the channel? Nope. And I still remember with Buffalo, he would put all these like women in this tunnel, like a
Yeah,
well,
like there's like a well in his
Yeah.
basement.
well, yeah. I was like, oh, and I remember just months later thinking about every like flashes of like
Yeah.
this, like 'cause it's like a beige kind of like
Yeah.
cream, like a cream color well or something. I can't remember from maybe I'm fucking making it up.
I
don't
think
know.
it's just like a big pit that he's dug in it, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah.
So it's like just like dirt and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very
and
much like a bomb.
I just
well.
remember like closing my eyes and see like the wall, you know, like, and
Yeah.
thinking of like these girls that he just fucking skinned to get like this little map.
I couldn't hear your mom just saying.
Yeah,
I can hear your mom saying
There's
no.
a pit
yeah.
on the other end of the world. I don't know how that speech goes in Dark Knight Rises. A man rises from that pit.
You were born. I was born in the dark. You merely adopt. No, I've got that round the wrong way.
Yeah. I think that's a different part of the movie.
It is a
too.
different part of the movie.
Oh fuck! I was.
I remember just being scared of men while you're biking late
Fair.
at night.
I mean,
Yeah,
just,
yeah,
you could have just
again,
ended it, man.
Very fair.
Period. And you know,
Pecking the bear.
I would bike home from like football practice, and you know, I would bike with other people that live like nearby.
Stranger
and-
Things style.
Yeah, of course. You gotta protect one another. And you would just talk about it. It's like, you know, I'm very scared right now. And you're like, oh, me too. It's like, okay, let's talk about what we're both visualizing and then make each other more scared. I think
Yeah.
that's a great idea.
That's so real.
Yeah, you're like, I think we'll be less scared if we talk about it, because then we're gonna be able to be like, no, you're just overreacting.
Yeah,
But then
we
it
won't make
just
it worse.
turned out to be like, oh no, we're now just scaring each other. This is fantastic.
Yeah, we did
I
it.
didn't think about the fact someone could be coming from behind the tree. Thanks. Okay, great. Fucking great.
It's funny because like one of my friends had like a digital camcorder, and we just go into the woods and like make short horror films.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day. Like
just
when we
made
were, like,
Blair Witch.
13, 14.
That
yeah.
sounded one that really like I'd never even seen it, but when it came out, it was like
Oh,
the thing
Blair
that was
Witch.
just like, and you don't
Yeah.
see anything. That's
No.
No, like Blair Witch is more like a relic of
Found
early
footage kind of
internet
thing. Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
like viral marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of the found footage stuff that's came after is obviously revolutionized to the point of like it is. Some of it's actually quite tense and scary. But Blair Witch, nothing really happens.
It happens, yeah.
It was more about like the way it was built up as like this happened, this is real, we found this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
These
cool
people went missing.
how well it tries to stick to that all found actual found footage, like this, like reviewing like a piece of footage that you could have found from someone who went missing. But the thing is, that mostly means it's kind of boring.
Yeah, they argue over the map, you know, and then sleep in a tent.
You got the water? I don't have the water. Where's the
he-
water?
He's looking at the wall.
I genuinely do still love that movie though.
I have to watch it.
I want to see it
Yeah.
like
Just to be like,
literally
this
this
looks
season,
It's good. It's a good movie.
like this holiday season, not this season on the show.
This holiday season.
Yeah.
On the Disney Channel.
I have one last one on my list. I don't know how
is
we
it-
are for
is it
time.
the best one?
But,
It's actually the worst one, just to kind of teeter out.
Save the best for first.
it's from this comic book strip. Again, a Belgian one. Which I think you guys have as well. Willy and Wanda?
It rings a bell.
Luke
Kind
and
of does,
Wanda?
yeah.
Look and wonder.
It depends on region and stuff like
I
that.
don't
Has
think-
like a red cover. It's kind of like Scooby Doo, but it's a family.
Okay,
That's
this
the best I can
isn't.
describe it.
I'm thinking of Megan Mock. Megan Mock, I
Yeah.
think.
Probably seen it.
Yeah,
It looks
Yeah.
vaguely familiar to me.
it looks Tintin-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
Not to
think
just
it's the
say
same.
Belgium,
Will
but
and Wonder, yeah, Will and Wonder.
Yeah. So there's this one because my family kind of just traded the issues. Like
Yeah.
my aunt of mine just has a shit ton of them, so I would just borrow a stack at a time. And there's this one specific like underwater theme. You know, it's kind of like Lupin. We have to find the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, this ancient
there's a
whatever
thing. We gotta go
Yeah.
on a venture to find it.
And there was something that was hypnotizing some of them to like regress their memory to babies.
Oh.
And that fucking freaked me out.
Mm.
Where it was like, oh,
Why?
you know, they are supposed to be the adults. Like, of course, it was the adults that get babyfied.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you know,
shit.
I mean, that's a weird way to say it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I got
And
baby
so
fun.
then the kids
That'll
are
do,
left to be
pig,
like,
that'll do.
well, they're the heroes of the story,
Jesus
really.
Christ.
And they're left to be like, oh my god, what do we do without their knowledge and their
yeah, yeah.
whatever here? And it just freaked me out to think, that can
Monster.
happen.
I'm a
Like,
baby
what if
monster.
you just can't?
I took a new one.
Thanks for ruining my
I need
bed.
my milk.
all the tension gone.
God. No, that just the concept of it really freaked me out.
That's kind of funny because I remember as a kid, any sort of mind control stuff actually just was really cool to me as a kid.
Yeah, but it's specifically the fact that they were just full on babies now, basically. Still
I'm
adult
just thinking
forms,
of the
and it was like it just freaked me
Haribo
out.
advert.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Classic.
that's the good ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good version of it. Yeah.
How are we looking for time?
It's hour and 10 roughly.
Oh
Okay,
god.
So
Well,
I don't know if we want to wrap
Yeah.
up there. I do
Yeah,
have one
unless-
that's really
I'll tell
funny.
you. I can tell you one final story of my aunt babysitting me and my brother for the first time,
Mm.
and thinking, you know, we're gonna go to our version of Blockbuster, get a movie, and we're gonna have like a great time. She rented Scooby Doo, the live action.
The first one?
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo 2002.
Yep. I was too young. Let's just
Yeah.
say that. I was
I
maybe
get that.
6.
I get it.
I mean, I was young when I saw that movie. It didn't freak me out.
Yeah.
Like the opening scene, it's like in a museum.
Yeah,
Yes.
they're in like
And
an old
then-
warehouse sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my aunt realized after the movie finished this was a bad idea, so then just went to the
after
main menu.
the movie finished.
Yeah, because she was kind of like, so did you guys enjoy it? And maybe noticed. So then she was like, back to main menu, behind the scenes. So as you can see,
That's
kids.
actually hilarious.
That's
So as
crazy.
you can see, that's all fake, you know? Like, it's one of those moments you remember, and then 10 years later you look back and I was like, peak parenting.
Yeah.
Peak parenting over there, and thanks.
God, it's like the opposite of like Scooby-Doo 2 for me as like a kid, because the DVD minis on that, I feel if I remember correctly, some of the cast iron stay in character, even behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you'd watched the second one, that wouldn't have worked. But the
Remember
second one is also nowhere near as like.
Remember we just
Yeah.
watched Mystery Man? You know about
Yeah.
Mystery Man?
Is that the Smash Mouth
Yeah.
movie?
Yes.
Damn
yes.
it!
Yes, there's a scene where the Captain America is supposed to be the hero, but then he dies midway through the
Oh,
movie. And he
yeah.
get fucking like annihilated. He just get burned to a crisp. I remember that was really scary, but I wasn't the age where I was just. It wasn't that scary. It was like a monster or something.
Yeah.
Just a guy
Yeah.
who gets burned alive.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But it was fucking.
It's so wild to me. People actually watched Mystery Man.
Oh, when I bought my first
Loves
computer, my very first desktop, they were like, "Oh, we can also choose I'll give you a DVD, like in the
Have a
price."
DVD.
Yeah, like a free
Yeah, yeah.
DVD.
That was the one, Mystery Man. I
Wow.
watched it so many times. I was like, "This movie is the best movie ever made." And then it's
They lied.
no. It was me after watching it a million times, and then I watched.
That's just fucking fantastic.
Yeah, and then I grew up and was like, "Wait, that was shit. It was one of the worst things ever."
I literally would only watch that movie for Smash Mouth, and the song doesn't even play in the movie.
No.
No.
It's just the music videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sort of ties in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
What an episode this has been.
Yeah.
I do have one very funny
Okay.
thing, but I don't know.
No, you go.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Want to
It
hear about
better
the
be
time?
funny.
When I hear about the time as a kid, I was scared of Bradley Walsh.
TV personality Bradley Walsh.
Yep,
who's Bradley?
from The Chase.
You know the guy who hosts the game show.
You're not gonna get away with it.
Show him a picture.
Yeah,
will you?
yeah, yeah.
There
Keep
is
going.
there is context.
God.
I promise you. and you're gonna get it immediately.
Wow,
Is the
okay.
funny thing.
Okay.
You remember the Doctor Who spin-off Sarah Jane Adventures?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. It's just a guy.
Yeah,
Just
he's
a
literally
guy.
just a guy.
Yeah, he's just a dude. He's not threatening in the slightest. He played a monster
Ah,
in Sarah Jane Adventures, the Doctor Who spin-off, and that monster scared the ever-loving fuck out of me.
so then you put on the trace and you're like, no.
You see, no, this is the thing. The hilarious thing is, I didn't know it was him for the longest
Yeah.
fucking time. It was only when I was rewatching it a couple of years ago that I realized it was him, and I kind of had a crash out on how fucking stupid I was. I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him up. I'm sorry for anyone actually listening.
I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna get that fucker.
That's a great soundbite.
Yeah, and I hold that he actually is fucking creepy.
Well, it's a clown.
Yeah, he's a creepy clown
Okay.
in that show, and he's genuinely terrifying to me. I just find it funny that my childhood trauma was Bradley fucking Walsh in clown makeup.
If you ever, get to meet him, just be like, fuck you.
I'm sure he's gotten that multiple times.
Yeah.
He actually was in Doctor Who after that as well,
He
as
was a companion.
a worse
Wow.
character.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was just there.
Yeah,
Wow.
Anyway.
that's my funny thing. I'm ending this on.
nice.
Well, what an episode this
Yeah.
has been. Been a bit all over the place.
Love
Let's end
that.
it.
Yeah, let's end this. Come back next week where we're talking. I don't know.
We're talking about something else.
Yeah.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.